Yeah. We're back.
Take two.
A week hiatus, went on retirement, just like Tom Brady.
Spring break.
We're back. Tom Brady's back. NFL football is not back, but the offseason certainly is. And NBA basketball is in full motion heading into the playoffs.
The play-in.
Well, the play-in in the case of the Lakers, the play-in. We got a lot of stuff on the show today. We're gonna be talking about the NFL offseason, talking a little bit about the state of the NFL right now. Maybe do a couple of fun, little side topics on the NFL. We'll also be touching up, obviously, on the NBA stuff, New York mandate, how that relates to Kyrie, and the Nets still not doing shit. the Miami Heat scuffle that happened the other day, probably a couple of other things, and then get into some MVP conversation. So I guess we'll start this off by trying to address the NFL offseason, because it's been a week since we did the last show.
Shit, how do you address so much?
And there is so much to cover.
Do y'all believe in the salary cap?
Yes. I saw what just happened with Tyreek.
Yeah, but I also saw that the Saints were like $40 million under the cap and now got like $20 million.
Who they signed though?
Nobody.
Exactly. Who they signed?
I want to touch up a little bit. This is my cowherd segment for the day. All right. In life, all right, and especially right now in this country and all over the world, we are dealing with massive inflation. All right. People are spending more money that they won't have in the future. They're not saving up for a time where, other commodities might be more readily available. And so everyone's kind of in this bidding and spending war right now. And I think it's leading to a arms race, basically, in the AFC and the NFC. This RuneScape music is absolutely hitting right now. With that being said, Von Miller getting $120 million, I thought was a bit excessive. I thought Zadarius Smith ended up getting a pretty decent contract, even though me, obviously, as a Ravens fans, wanted to see that happen. A lot of teams are making really aggressive moves because I feel like aggressiveness wins out.
Yeah, just like the Rams last year. They went all in, and guess what? It paid off.
And so you see the Broncos going ahead, sacrificing a bunch of picks to essentially acquire Russell Wilson.
Fuck them picks.
Rams been going in all in the past couple years though.
The Browns went all in, basically getting Deshaun Watson.
Browns still going brown though.
And I'm trying to think who else. The Raiders got Devontae Adams.
Chargers went pretty good too.
Chargers went hard, getting Khalil Mack. So I'd ask you guys,
Dolphins.
Who do you think? Dolphins just got Tyreek Hill
and Teron Armstead.
Yeah, this is insane. So let me ask you guys, who do you guys think? Who are your winners and losers? And who do you think, if you do have one, because obviously this is all like predictions at this point. If you do have a player in mind, who do you think, or not player, but a team, if you do have a team in mind, what team do you think won the NFL offseason so far? We haven't entered the draft yet, but...
Man.
If you say the Eagles...
What? Oh, why you always... the AFC West.
That's a great answer.
The AFC West definitely won the offseason. Feels like everybody in the mother pulled up, Devontae went to the Raiders. Fucking Chandler Jones.
I forgot Chandler went to the
Khalil
Raiders.
Mack went to the fucking Chargers. Russell Wilson.
J.C. Jackson.
Yeah, the AFC. Well, all right. Let me start. I guess my hot take of the day. There was a team in the AFC West that absolutely did not win, and I think that's the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, let me say this. I think what the Kansas City Chiefs did for Tyreek Hill was actually pretty damn smart. I think they know that they're putting themselves in a position where they need to free up cap space and acquire assets and acquire cheap labor, essentially. And I think the Chiefs are planning this out for the next 4 to 5 years, which is the right move. But if we're talking immediately this year, I don't want to hear that, Patrick Mahomes is just going to carry him. It won't matter. I saw this team struggling last season for like the first half. I think it's going to be even worse this year.
Well, to be fair, I'm not gonna make hype of Valdez Scantling as being like a Tyreek Hill replacement per se, but I do. What?
What?
I was about to say,
Oh.
but anyways, Valdez Scantling. I mean, he's a vertical threat. Obviously, not nowhere as close to Tyreek Hill. But if you look at the draft this year, it's not supremely elite at the top, but it's fairly deep overall. So pretty much like if they can get like a Sky Moore from I forgot what I think is it Western Michigan. I think he's like from Western Michigan. He's a really good player who can probably fit the mold.
The only thing with that though is anytime you draft a player, you can't guarantee you getting that.
Yeah, but you're not going to get the production. But I mean, like now is the time. Well, if you look at last season, I think Patrick Mahomes has eventually learned as the season progressed to take what the defense gives you. You're not always going to get that 60-yard bomb touchdown. It's not going to be like fireworks. Sometimes you got to take what the defense gives you, even if it's a 10-yard completion, a 15-yard completion, or even like a check down for like 8 yards. So, I mean, like, as long as Patrick Mahomes can continue that maturity that he eventually shown last year, yeah, I think they'll be good. Like Nico said, it's more about sustainability because, like, you can't pay, like, $50 million for your quarterback. You can't pay 20, like, what, he got, like, 23.
It's hard to fix a bad team.
Yeah, so, like, it's kind of hard to make your team very complimentary when you're paying everybody as a top 3 rate.
This could very quickly turn into Drew Brees on the Saints. Win a chip, and you're like, oh damn, this team, great coach, great quarterback, they're set for success, but then they end up putting themselves in a position where the defense, they're not spending money, the offense has like a couple of super elite players, and then it's just points and yards and but nothing that's going to lead to tangible playoff success.
So you said the deep stuff not going to be there. I agree, but without the league's best deep threat, how much of the underneath stuff going to be there too now? Because, I mean, all of that take was partially there because you had the fact of Tyreek Hill clearing everything underneath out because he's going deep.
I mean, we all joked about how Mecole Hardman can only run like 3 routes. So, I mean, like, he can run goes, he can run slants, and he can run screens.
But it's still a lot
of
people.
Just have his ass run track meets down the sideline.
But do you think that they worried about,
no, he's not going to, no, yeah.
Like we were double teaming Tyreek.
You're not going to be threatened by Mecole Hardman like you would be Tyreek Hill. But it's also the concept of play design to stretch the field to an extent. So, like, if you... Like, you're going to see Mecole Hardman, he's a fast athlete for a receiver.
I mean,
if he's, like, burning down the field, you got to know, you have to understand that Patrick Mahomes is going to see the field. So, like, if the safety's going to
I don't think he can split a defense the way that...
he's not, but it's just the fact that it's not... I'm not saying the splitting the defense. It's just the fact that you're taking the top off. So you're spreading it out a little bit.
Scares me in that wide receiver.
Oh, yeah, no one does, but it's better... I mean, to them, they're probably like, hey, we can get... about Valdez Scantling, we can get like a rookie receiver who can probably give you about 600, 700 yards probably in that offense. And they're going to be sustainable for the foreseeable future and add pieces to the defense.
So who else won this? Who else is winning this free agency?
Not a team, not a player, but a network who's winning is CBS Sports. They are the proud presenter of the AFC conference. So like,
oh yeah, it's
you got matchups for days. You got like in the AFC West, you got Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert. You got Pat Mahomes. You got Derek Carr. You got Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson, Mitch Trubisky, Nickelodeon MVP. You got
he's the Nickelodeon MVP.
So like you got
he's a slime bowl. Slime Bowl champ.
So you got all these heavy hitters in the AFC. I mean, it's just CBS is just winning right now. Like they're just licking their chops.
Right? I mean, I think a true winner out of this, honestly, I brought up Von Miller originally, but I would say the pass rusher market, right? Like it's actually players. I think players are really won this year. Everywhere from the receivers getting paid the numbers that they're getting paid now. I mean, Devontae Adams getting like $20 million plus. Amari Cooper's getting traded to teams instead of getting cut, even though his salary is ridiculous. Yeah, well, of course, quarterbacks, but especially pass rusher. I brought it up before. Von Miller is getting 120 million. It's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
A lot of it is like
This
fluff.
front loading the first 4 years, I think, is his most
I was about to
guaranteed.
say it's pretty much like a 3-year deal.
Yeah, but for a player
Of
who's
his age.
on the decline, I mean, Von Miller is, at this point, what, 32, I want to say?
Yeah, he's 32.
And he's kind of, I mean, I don't want to say he's an old 32, but, you know,
That shit
I
outta
think
here.
I think you got, we're watching the Gonzaga game, and of course they just blew another, you know, 1 seed and losing to a 4 seed. But, like, you know, I don't think it's a bad contract, in my opinion. I think it's a bad contract. I think it's the Bills kind of trying to go all in right now, and they're like, oh, we're just 1 or 2 pieces away. But I think the Bills, like, truly are a couple of pieces away. And I'm guessing they can get that from the draft, but they are going to have to look at retaining, you know, a certain subset of their talent, and you do have to wonder how much that Von Miller contract's going to go, you know, affect that. I also think it sets the market for a bunch of pass rushers. You saw Zadarius Smith pass up on the Ravens because he was like, that was literally almost a locked deal,
Yeah.
and there were like 2 or 3 deals on the table, and it comes out that Von Miller got 120 million. I'm guaranteeing you, Zadarius Smith called up his agent and was like, bro,
We gotta get some more.
what the hell? I need to be getting at least like half of this.
Chandler Jones got what? 50,
But I know-
40 million?
Yeah,
You
like
brought
an
up-
insanely high contract. You're seeing more guaranteed money nowadays, I think, in the NFL more than ever.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're a good player, obviously, like you know, like Deshaun Watson got fully guaranteed, which is
230
absurd.
fully guaranteed.
But like I know you brought up Buffalo Bills. Just a quick note. It's kind of interesting to see how they're going to, you know, like you said, build a team moving forward. Especially like with Stephon Diggs. Like he needs to get paid, because like also Cooper Kupp. I mean, like Cooper Kupp makes him 15 million, and you got Devontae. Look, not Devontae Adams, obviously a great receiver. So I'm gonna say Christian Kirk is making about 23, possibly like 18,
That bullshit
20 million.
contract, bro.
So I mean, like you said, like the contract
I completely
station
forgot
is gonna
about
be
that. Can we get into
absurd.
losers?
Oh yeah. So if you're going to
Jaguars.
losers, I'll say mine real quick. My loser is going to be Tua Tagovailoa, if that's how I pronounce his name.
What?
Tua
Oh,
Tagovailoa.
but this is not
Hot
because
take.
it's because
Disrespect
now
to
it, like
bro.
Tua is on the hot seat right now. You got a Teron Armstead, you got Jalen Waddle, you got Tyreek Hill, you got Mike Gesicki, you got Cedric Wilson. If they keep Devontae Parker there, they got Devontae Parker. You got a pretty good defense. So it's like now it's like the Dolphins are gonna be like, all right, it's
Bruh,
put up
go
or,
play.
Yeah,
I
put
think
up
he
or
can
shut
get
up.
it
And then
done.
you're also got to think about they have 2 first-round picks next year. So
Wimbledon.
they got the assets to go get Tua out out of Miami if they want to. So like even though like the Dolphins have an amazing free agency, getting a lot of weapons for their offense, I think it's
It puts him,
it puts so much pressure on him to actually produce.
Yeah, I think he probably is going into next season one of the, you know, hot seat players. I mean, I will say this, though. He is in a market that I think is very, like, what do you call it? I don't want to say fair weather, but I want to say laid back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Dolphins fans, let me say this. I don't think it's as rough of a market as, like, the Browns or the Giants are. I think New York and Cleveland, like, if you're fucking up there, there's a lot more of a spotlight on you than like how often do we watch Dolphins games?
Oh, we don't. But I'm saying is that they have a team that can compete. Is what I would say.
I think Tua got some time. You saw how long they sat on Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, but it's different. It's a different vibe now. I
It
think
is-
like
it's
especially with the
They
quarterback.
sat on Ryan Tannehill and he was getting hurt and shit. Tua's out there. At least he's playing.
Yeah, but I mean, there's quarterbacks next year that are way better than him potentially.
I mean,
You got
and-
C.J.
and
Stroud,
also, too,
Bryce Young.
What's the
They're-
guarantee you gonna be able to get one of them though?
They
next
got 2
year?
first-round picks. They can.
I mean,
do
they
what
could trade
want to.
up, but are you gonna trade up when you got? I think Tua is capable of getting it done, to where you could fill other positions around him. 'Cause, I mean, I feel like he's on the hot seat, but we're gonna be honest.
Do you think Tua can take them to the playoffs this year?
I
Yes
think
or
he
no?
could.
I think
I mean, I'm looking at, if you want to be honest, his rookie year, they did him dirty. Fitzpatrick had him in playoff position. You take him out and throw him into the fire for what? He could have sat the whole year. You talking about you want to see what he got. Nah, let him sit and let Fitzpatrick ride the ship out the whole year because he had y'all in playoff position. Last year, Will Fuller suspended. Devontae Parker and out of the lineup. I'm pretty sure Tua missed some games as well. I think Jalen Waddle was still dealing with, the ACL tear to start the year, so he wasn't back all the way yet. The O-line I think the O-line has improved drastically from going into next year compared to the past 2 years. I mean, you got Teron Armstead, a bookend tackle. They signed someone else, too.
Connor Williams.
Yeah, Connor Williams, a solid guard, a starting caliber guard, top upper echelon caliber guard. So you have the pieces on offense now to complement the solid defense that he's had.
I think let me chime in and just say that I think genuinely the Laramie Tunsil trade might be one of the best trades made in the last, I want to say 6 to 7 years. It might be the best trade in the last decade. When you look at who the Dolphins gave up, which was essentially Laramie Tunsil, Kenny Stills, who's currently a free agent, he's not even on the team. He's not even on the Texans anymore. And then, like, some rotational pieces for essentially a cornerback, and I don't even want to pronounce his name, Noah
Igbenogwe or something like that.
There you go. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Javon Holland, and then they also have those
49ers picks.
Those picks, yeah. That's insane. That haul is absolutely ridiculous for a decent left tackle. So, I mean, I think, while, Tua is on the hot seat this year, if he just makes a slight improvement over last year and doesn't completely, blow apart like another team that I'm about to talk about very shortly, I think he'll be fine. If he just ups the touchdowns a little bit, ups the deep passes, if he could connect a couple times, like 3 or 4 times with Tyreek deep, I think a lot of people are going to be happy with it.
All right, so my last situation is that if you're the Dolphins and you're sitting at 10 and you got another pick and you are in position that you could get like a CJ Stroud or a Bryce Young, you're not looking like...
This year or next year?
This is next year.
This is next year. Well, you got to see how Tua plays this year.
But you're picking 10, so you know how your team did.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, what if he goes out there and plays well enough to where you feel like...
In that case, I probably would go with Stroud. I'm nervous about Tua. I'm not saying that I think he's going to be great, but I don't think he's a bottom 10 quarterback.
No, I don't. It's just the fact that, like, when you look at Tua and you look at the AFC, like how we believe how competitive it's going to be next year. You got special in Lamar Jackson. You got special in Joe Burrow. You got special talent, and I'll just say special talent, Deshaun Watson. You got Justin Herbert. You got Patrick Mahomes. You got Russell Wilson. Derek Carr took a dumpster fire to the playoffs. Where you put Josh Allen? Like, where you putting Tua in that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
so it's kind of like that Mac Jones conversation.
I just got to see where it is.
That ain't enough.
I just got to see.
That's just not enough. I just don't think it's enough, but y'all can go.
No, that's fair. My team that I'm so happy to do this segment. My team that I think lost the NFL offseason is none other than the Cleveland Browns. How they blew this entire debacle with Baker Mayfield is beyond me. They traded picks, like a ton of picks, and did they even trade any players? I think it was just picks, right?
Picks. It was all picks. Picks.
They traded essentially like their next 2 drafts to the Texans, and Browns fans will get mad if they hear this, but it was like 2 or 3 firsts and then like a second or something like that.
It was 3 firsts for sure. I know.
Yeah, I think it was 3 firsts and like a second, and then like I think they put like there was something where they probably get back a pick and then like trade them a 4th and get back like a 3rd, something like that to like make it even. They do that. They then give Deshaun Watson a massive contract with the most guaranteed money that any quarterback has ever gotten.
Got a baseball contract.
Which is just insane when you think about it. Look, I don't want to get into whether I think Deshaun Watson is guilty or he's innocent. That's for the courts to decide. I do think that having 22 and now, like right after they talked about it, the Browns literally were like, yeah, we investigated it. It's all good. And now literally like today there's like a 23rd case that's pending, and they were like, yeah, we talked to the lawyers, and the lawyers came out and were like, yeah, they didn't talk to us at all. I just think they're setting themselves up to possibly get completely dunked on if this Deshaun Watson shit blows up. Also, to not be able to trade Baker Mayfield for Deshaun Watson and completely obliterate his trade value, I think is truly like spectacular. Baker Mayfield, not a great quarterback.
I like Davis Mills.
Yeah, I was ready to say,
I'm about to say
Houston,
Davis
they
Mills is a
built
pretty
around
good
Davis
quarterback.
Mills.
I don't want to say pretty good as in like he's going to be like amazing, but for his rookie
He's
season, he did
decent,
pretty
but you
good.
feel like you could get
Like,
bro. For the Texans to be like, nah, we're good.
Well, I mean, I think Houston came out and said we're committed to Davis Mills.
Yeah, they're
so
committed
that's
to Davis
probably
Mills
why.
for a year, especially because they can build out their team and
Yeah.
see what you can do. moving
Send
forward.
Baker ass to Seattle.
But I think what trumped Baker was the fact that Indianapolis received Matt Ryan, because I think I thought like
You thought Indianapolis
Baker
would
would have
be
been
a
like,
good-
hey,
it would have been
we
a
can
good
try to
fit.
get a trade to
Yeah.
Indy,
Uh-huh.
or Brown's gonna be all right, we'll just flip Baker somewhere else. Now it's like,
Well, this is kind of the issue with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield in the NFL, was this his 5th season?
he's going into his
Yeah.
He's going into his 5th. So he's had 4 seasons. He's had 2 solid seasons. One that you could say is definitively good, where he made the playoffs, and his rookie year was good. His second year with Freddie Kitchens was absolutely horrible. I mean, just completely turnover prone. Looked like a shell of himself. Like, he looked like he regressed from his rookie season, and literally got his coach fired halfway through the year. Which, if you really need to think about how bad you have to be to get fired halfway through a tenure. I
for
mean,
the Browns on top of
yeah,
that.
for the Browns.
For the Browns.
Like, dude, it took what's his name down in Jacksonville, Urban Meyer, literally like kicking players and calling his coaches losers for him to get fired halfway through his tenure. And Freddie Kitchens was doing that without doing any of that. It was all incompetence on the field. Freddie Kitchens isn't a good coach, but Baker Mayfield hasn't helped his situation at all. And then he's trying to put himself in a position where he's like, oh, well, I demand a trade. Motherfucker, you are not in a position to demand shit. You've played terrible. You were literally so bad last year and have been so bad for the last 4 seasons with Odell Beckham, or 3, however long he's been there. It's felt like his entire career Odell's played for the Browns at this point. It was so insufferable. A fan made a compilation and literally ruined, like, I feel Baker's legacy there.
this is where it comes between the it's a business, and then you got the locker room. Like, you tell me it's a business, obviously Baker Mayfield's not going to be loved around the league by executives, but in the locker room, I feel as though Baker did himself a disservice, obviously, because like he played hurt. Like, he had like a torn labrum.
Oh, you
like,
think it would have been
fractured
better
right.
if he just sat out?
If I was Baker, I would have sat out, because like
Yeah.
they had like the perfect situation where they had like that bye week, that they had like the short week and then the bye week. And it's like, all right, you got about 3 weeks off of
Well,
rest.
the
and
issue
see
is
where it's
this.
at. But then also you got to think about it. He had Hugh Jackson. They had like that Steelers offensive coordinator once, and then they got Kevin Stefanski, Freddie Kitchens, and now
Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah. So I
and
mean,
no
like,
one's looking at Kevin
no
Stefanski.
one's
and
looking
being
at Kevin
like,
bad,
yeah.
but it's like a revolving door of like change and change and change and change.
Oh, well, I get that. The issue is this: if Baker sat out and the team took a big fat steamy shit, that would be one thing. The issue is Case Keenum would come in for Baker Mayfield, and the offense would be identical.
Okay.
It would. No. I'm not going to say Case. I'm not going to say they took a step forward, but there's no difference between Baker Mayfield's play for the Cleveland Browns and a backup.
So are we saying that Case Keenum can reproduce the same offense with a torn labrum Baker Mayfield?
Ain't he do it
Yes.
in Minnesota
But
before?
emphasis on a torn labrum Baker Mayfield.
I think he could. I thought honestly
He
that
pretty much played almost half the rest of the
Hey
season
man,
hurt.
that's on Baker.
I
His
feel
ass
like
should've sat
I
out.
don't. But
and that's fair. That's what I'm saying. You can't. I mean, if you go to war with your, that's why I say it's the difference between business and the locker room.
Yeah.
If you're going to war with your teammates and you know that he's hurt, just like Joe Jarvis said, I don't think he was capping. Like, he respects Baker because he know all the shit that he's going through. He knows
He
all the
was
pain
hurt,
and
bro.
hurt.
I mean,
And
I
he's
don't
still
know.
going out there trying to do his best to help get a win.
No, I don't
Yeah,
care.
he
So,
wasn't doing.
yeah.
He was his best. Wasn't winning shit. I mean, you got Kareem Hunt dad calling him out on Twitter, talking about you see this kid out here hurt, get him off the field.
Well, he's literally my issue is this, right? It wasn't even like I'm like cringing watching Baker like try to throw deep passes and they're off target, which did happen. It's more so the fact that he was making completely incorrect reads and could not hit wide open wide receivers. And then all of a sudden Odell leaves the team and wins a Super Bowl, and Baker got to hang on to like the 1 or 2 weeks where Donovan Peoples-Jones went off because Baker was able to find him a couple times. Now look, I do think Baker can have success in this league at another location, but the Browns have bought... Essentially what I'm saying is the Browns are going to Brown, and they've lost this offseason because I think they're making a high-risk, like, at this point, medium reward play. And the risk is essentially, like, betting your life savings that, like, crypto is going to hit. Like, that's kind of how this feels. It just feels like they're taking a massive Hail Mary risk because they're like, man, we just won't win a Super Bowl. We have a team that's ready. And I think it's going to bite them. I don't think it's a sure thing. And I think Cleveland fans feel the same way from the spaces I've been in.
Think Baker plays this year?
You think it'll be a Ben Simmons?
I don't know. I can see it going a couple of ways. Like, you know, we don't know how long D-Watt's gonna be out. You know,
He's not
Baker.
playing in Cleveland this year.
Listen,
He's
it could
not
be a tryout. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't
You
do
don't
it
think
if I'm
he's
Baker.
playing?
I'm sitting out anyway. But
Baker will not put on
He
a
not
Browns
putting on a
jersey
Browns
ever.
No,
again.
Deshaun, or are you saying Baker?
I'm saying Baker.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you were saying Deshaun. That's
I'm just
why I
saying,
was
where you
confused.
think
I mean,
he ends
Deshaun
up?
deserved it.
And
He's
if I'm
suspended.
Baker, I'm a competitive, bro. I'm not just handing my team over. He was the guy. I know they're gonna have to
He
play
ain't winning
D-Watt.
shit,
I
bro.
know he's not getting the starting job back in Cleveland ever as like long term. But like for the 6 games that D-Watt's out, you can't spaz. You
He
can't
ain't
show
gonna
that.
be out for 6
No,
games.
he's not gonna want to. He doesn't want to play with
He'd be
them.
out for a year.
Like,
Bro, you gotta look
well,
at
let me
this.
ask you this now.
I'm saying what I would do. I know Baker don't.
Well,
Bro, he's getting paid $230 million guaranteed dollars.
No, obviously, D-Watt's
I ain't
the
showing up
quarterback.
for shit. Like they gave Baker that 5th-year option. I'm taking my $23
Hey,
million guaranteed option. And I'm
Ain't
still
no
saying
point-
I
ain't no
want
point
out.
complaining,
I
bro.
don't
Ain't
care.
no point complaining. You better go out there. You better show the Seahawks who, you know what I'm saying. you
And
can
what,
play with
Madden?
that.
They ain't playing on the
So
field.
let me ask you a question. If he go out there and get hurt, then what?
then it's reps.
Exactly.
Hang him up.
He go fuck himself up.
It don't look no better right now though. Look, we sit here talking about where is he gonna be playing next year, bro. We thought he was gonna go to the Colts, and then the Colts didn't want him.
Dude, no one wants him. No one wants him right now.
Seattle called.
He's a complete. Seattle called and was probably like, "Yo,
Seattle desperate anyway.
fourth rounder," and Cleveland hung up the phone, but they might have to call the number back.
About to say, but
The #1 like redial and be like, "Look, we'll take a vending machine for Baker at this point." I don't know. What do you do? You really think this Deshaun Watson shit is gonna work?
no, but we all been saying it all night. The Browns been the Browns, so I mean, you pay him $230 million. You're not gonna be able to pay nobody else. You're seeing what's happening with this Tyreek Hill shit. Except it's not even Tyreek Hill, and you're not Pat Mahomes.
I mean, it's a player that hasn't played in a year. It's not
Yeah.
even going to look smooth this season,
Yeah.
and then you're looking at next season. So like,
Yeah.
I just don't see the situation where Deshaun comes and he's like the savior of Cleveland. I've said it before. I've seen Cleveland spend or take top 10 wide receiver talent and relegate it to looking like, you know, a outside top 30 receiver in the league, and that was Odell.
But like Deshaun Watson's a whole different cat than Baker Mayfield on the field per se. But I mean, but the thing is that I don't want to look at the Browns as far as this season. I need to see what they do next season and see like what kind of You need to see what kind of culture they bring, something different. Even
I mean
That
but that's
culture
part of the
ain't changing.
issue. That's part of the issue with it. Like Deshaun Watson isn't coming in the door and implementing this grind, work hard, freaking awesome culture. He's coming there and being like, yeah,
He's just talented.
I'm here to play basketball. I'm here to play football. I'm talented. And I'm not even sure that the offense that they're building in Cleveland is gonna let him do that.
Exactly.
I want to see what they're going to do with what's their running back, Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb.
Yeah, because like they already signed Kareem Hunt to a friendly deal, but it's like
Chubb gonna get his money.
Yeah, I was saying what y'all talked about. It's going to be hard to try to build a team when he's going to want top dollar.
Oh yeah, no, we've already talked about how bad running back contracts are in the NFL. I mean, it's hard for running backs to get to that free agent, outside fifth year tenure, but it looks like Nick Chubb's going to hit that, and I don't think they're going to be able to pay for him.
Oh no,
no, they're not.
Not with Cooper on the books, not with Watson on the books, not trying to retain this line that you have.
And Myles Garrett on the
Myles
books.
Garrett.
Yeah, and Miles
Ward,
Garrett.
right? He's up eventually, right?
Yeah, he's going to be up. So I think they took themselves from being like a decent roster with like a shaky quarterback and shaky culture to in my opinion completely just like going all in and possibly like blowing this.
They could have just waited a fucking year. Ain't Watson's contract up after this year? Well, before he got re-signed.
I don't even know how
because
that
he got
works.
He got a
Yeah.
They just gave him a new deal.
I mean, they still could have waited a year. Because, I mean, you go out there and let's see, mill the pack. They going to get a decent first-round pick.
No, they're not because it's gone.
No, it's gone now. I'm saying if they didn't do the Watson trade. You could have got potentially a quarterback, either, not C.J. Stroud, but, I mean, one of them quarterbacks might have fell to them, depending on what other teams need, especially with the amount of young, good quarterbacks we got in the league right now. They could have got one.
I just think what a competent team would have done is execute maybe a 3-team trade.
They sold their fucking soul.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to do a 3-team trade, and more so in the NFL. You don't really see that. You see like versus this transaction, then it's that. It's not like the NBA.
But you could have done like a Baker to Seattle. Seattle incorporate some picks over to the Texans.
Never. I get what Nico's
take
saying.
some less off of you.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you mean.
You're
It's
just
never
in a
a
point
3-team
now.
trade, but it's usually we trade you here, and then we're gonna get so and so from here. That's how Marcus Peters went down. That's how Chandler Jones sort of went down with trading Yannick to Indy, and then the Raiders signed Chandler Jones.
Exactly. So that's my loser. Although there are certainly some others. I don't even want to talk about Jacksonville because they're just the redheaded stepchild. But I'll leave that to either Nye or Greg.
You signed Christian Kirk the $18 million a year deal. He ain't even cracked. Has he cracked 800 yards?
I don't think
he cracked 800. He's just never cracked 1,000. I know that's a bad deal, but I do like the coach. I do like Doug Peterson.
Is that
Yeah, they lost DJ
Yeah,
Sharp.
but they added what? Christian Kirk, they added another receiver, right?
I don't even know.
They they added Evan Ingram. He flashy but inconsistent.
Mr. Butterfingers himself.
Yeah, that's why I said flashy but inconsistent. I swear they added more receivers.
Didn't they add Crawford?
Don't matter who they added.
I know Crowder went to Buffalo, I think.
Xavier Crawford, that's a cornerback though. They kind of just like focused on adding a bunch of depth pieces, and there wasn't anything in it that was flashy.
They made the wrong type of splash play.
Like, I don't know, why not give that money to Allen Robinson? I felt like that would have been a better pickup for what they're trying to do. That's a better pickup for what they're trying to do. The fact of the matter is Christian Kirk does the same slot bullshit that you want Laviska Shenault to do, and you drafted Laviska Shenault 2 seasons ago. And have done absolutely nothing with him. And I think he's one of the most talented, young receivers in the league outside of the like superstars. But when you start getting into the nitty gritty of like specialists, he just was completely underutilized last year.
He could be a Debo Samuel.
Oh yeah, they got Zay Jones.
Zay Jones, that's what we.
I know what you mean.
They pick up Tandon Doss too. I mean,
I wouldn't say Zay Jones is a full L, but it's not a needle mover. It's not something
But
spectacular.
yeah, I'm saying like they added some stuff to their offense. Is basically what I'm trying to say. They got like Brandon Sheriff, the guard from the.
I like that.
That's a good pickup. But everything else, it was like you overpaid for Christian Kirk. You didn't get anyone that it was like, oh yeah, he moves the needle a little bit.
No one's gonna move the needle for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You ain't even
It's a process.
I don't know if I can say that because I mean you saw it. Even though it fell off after a year, that 1 year where they got Calais Campbell, Tashawn Gibson, Malik Jackson, all in free agency, that was a great year.
But
even though it
already
fell off,
they
but
already
it was
had
still a
some
great
talent
year.
there. What I'm saying, they have to build the talent first before they just
Yeah, but
get
you're also
everybody.
losing like
They
what
had some
Miles. You're also
decent
losing
talent.
Miles Garrett. You know,
Miles
to the
Jack.
or Miles Jack. My bad.
Yeah.
I
You
get
lost
those
Miles
confused.
Jack. You lost DJ Chark, who I thought was underutilized.
All right, but we all knew that this process with the Jacksonville Jaguars is going to take probably about 2 to 3 years.
Oh,
so.
I
mean,
I
I understand what y'all trying to say, but it's a process.
It's just you want to see like, look, if you're going after young free agents, but
You want to see someone that's going to be like
dude, I feel like you can draft in this upcoming
a
draft.
Christian Kirk.
I think you could
Yeah.
find a Christian Kirk in like round 3.
And
You
you
didn't
don't
have to
want
pay
that.
$20 million for him. Like
Right.
Jesus Christ, pick a. You could have seriously got Teron Armstead for that.
Mm-hmm.
You want to build the line out,
Well,
and just go, hey,
they-
we're going in this draft
Listen, they
that has
came back,
Jamison
though.
Williams and all this
Robinson came
Robinson,
back.
Cam Robinson.
Yeah, so they wasn't going
stuff.
to
Cam Robinson isn't half the tackle that.
No, I mean he
Teron
isn't, but
Armstead
they
is.
kicked the money out to Cam Robinson. I think before free agency or the legal tampering period opened.
No, I
I don't
think,
care
yeah,
if he's
I
right
think it's on
tackle.
franchise tag.
Move
Yeah,
him,
that's still like
move him
19
to
million.
right tackle. Put Teron at left, and just do whatever you can to try to save this Trevor Lawrence pick.
That's
I mean,
true.
I don't know. I just feel like they could have got more creative with the resources that they had.
That's
But
fair.
that's my opinion.
Any more losers?
Nah, who's your loser? Take the mic. You don't talk.
Nah, I'm chilling, bro. You already pretty much hit on who I was gonna say. The Browns. The Browns fucking lost. But
Yes.
you know my feelings on D Watt. You know my feelings on Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's a loser. I think the Colts are losers.
You don't think Matt Ryan is serviceable?
He doesn't move the needle, and it doesn't
Did you
send a
think Carson
positive.
Wentz was going to move the needle?
No, but keeping a quarterback for more than a year, like you're not thinking about like the. Bro, this is what the sixth quarterback they've had in 6 years.
And I
Yeah.
get that, but didn't Phillip Rivers take him to the playoffs?
And that was it.
All right, but I mean, like I said, the Colts are too good to not get a high pick, but they're not bad enough to get a better pick.
Why don't you run it back with? Why don't you let your quarterback get another year in the system so that y'all could be better next year instead of bringing in another quarterback?
Because it was too
Bringing
many
in-
turnovers.
They
It was
just didn't
Carson.
like how he finished
It
the
was
season.
Carson.
He didn't
Wentz.
even have that many turnovers.
You know,
this
and
year.
I get that. It's just that he just didn't finish the season.
He had one of the better touchdown to inner ratio pick ratios in the league this year.
He had
Bro.
honestly with Carson Wentz, it wasn't he all right.
I don't want to
Let me
make it
say
about
this.
Carson
Let me say-
Wentz neither. 'Cause
No. I get that. I'm on the record for saying for some reason, like in Madden, they have Carson Wentz as a far lower overall than like Baker Mayfield. He's a much better quarterback than Baker Mayfield last season. Like Carson Wentz wasn't throwing a shit ton of picks. However, he did have really bad moments. I'm thinking the one, I don't know if it was in the Redskins game. He was in some game in overtime last year where he just throws like a clear-cut pick trying to do too much.
Was that
And
the Tampa game?
it may have been. He threw a pick
You
like
live with
Yeah,
that,
it's just
though.
that-
What
it's
is-
just that he just
what's
makes-
Matt Ryan giving you?
It's just,
Veteran
I get that.
leadership, less
he's
turnovers.
just stable presence. Like Carson Wentz has
Consistency.
all the talent. It's just that I feel as though like during the last season he just made the bad decision at the worst time.
Yeah.
So
And I think the Colts were just fed up with that. But I also think their management, I kind of see where Nair's talking about. I do think that their management is a bit like they're trying to force it. Like they're like, man, we just need to get anything. We need to be competitive. Like
Like that Phillip
Next,
Rivers,
next.
that Phillip Rivers playoff berth was the worst thing that could happen to them.
yeah, but I do think that the Colts are a good quarterback from just being a competitive AFC.
they
team.
are, but that's the hardest
But-
thing to find
Yeah.
in the NFL.
And that's why, since it's so hard to find it, you got to trade for it.
Let me ask you this, Nair. If you were
else would they
the
get?
Colts and you had to choose between Matt Ryan and Baker Mayfield, like if those were the two quarterback options you could have traded for, which would
At
you have
least
went with?
I'll say this. You're not a guaranteed playoff team with Matt Ryan. You're definitely not a guaranteed playoff team with Baker Mayfield, right?
Definitely not.
But Baker's better. Baker has more upside. He's younger. He's more mobile. I'm probably taking Baker Mayfield, and I'm living. I mean, because you just did it with Carson Wentz, and you know what I'm saying, it didn't work out in the end. But
Baker's giving you more. Like he has more in the tank.
yeah, he's
Like,
got more in the tank.
In my opinion, Baker's.
I mean, you saw what
This is
Because it's like, yo, if last year doesn't happen, we're still talking about Baker's like, yo, he's possibly top 10.
You saw what happened.
I'm gonna
Possibly top
the year
15.
I don't know about top 10.
Yeah,
top
15.
But the year he was healthy, you saw what happened. I mean, you got Jonathan Taylor in Indy. You saw what happened before last year. The year Baker was actually healthy and they could run the ball in Cleveland. He got into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I think now the wide receiver room in Indy isn't the greatest going into next year. Because, I mean, they got Pittman still, but they don't have anyone behind him. They got T.Y. Hilton, old ass.
Yeah,
but
No, he's a free agent.
he is still on the market.
I want to make a really shitty sports or car analogy. Can I do it real quick? They
All right, Colin.
they basically went from Carson Wentz, who was essentially a Honda Civic that had been in a car accident, and then had to choose between like a low mileage car that the transmission fell out of, or like a high mileage like Toyota Camry, or like.
A Toyota Camry that could like catastrophic engine failure at any time. But then you got like a 2020 car and like one of the tires is popped and the wheel is bent, and you got to get in alignment because it won't drive straight. But it goes fast. You know, sometimes you get up there like 110 is moving fast. You know.
Yeah.
It's like you just take the pick. But then I don't know, it's like, yo, this other cars like failed on the highway before, like, and by the grace of God it didn't get hit. You know, it made it over to the fucking, it pulled over by the grace of God, nothing hit it. But you know, it probably shouldn't be out there like on the highway. You just take the back roads with it and be cool.
It's like the Sunday driver.
Yeah,
It's the high
Sunday
mileage
driver.
Sunday driver that's like nice,
Yeah.
but you can't. Yeah, no, that's because that's exactly. It's funny, but that's exactly how I kind of see it. And I would have went with a car with a couple problems, but
Yeah.
you can fix a couple problems on
You
a
can
low
put the
mileage.
headlight, you can put the headlight in yourself, you know.
Yeah,
It's
you
all
can
good.
fix a couple low, like on a low mileage car. It still has a lot of life left. I
Yeah.
think the point I'm trying to make with this awful analogy is that I think it's a better investment to pick something that still has a lot of life left and a few problems, a few kinks to work out,
Right.
than picking something that has worked forever, but you're not getting that car with the idea of, oh shit, I'm gonna be driving this 5 years from now. This is
Right.
something that's like, damn, I'm gonna get
This
this.
is the bridge car.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till the prices get better.
This is the bridge.
The issue is you've been driving bridge cars for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
It's time to get something eventually, right? Otherwise, you're wasting.
It's time to stick with something.
Yeah, you're
just
wasting money
driving.
and time.
You driving
Exactly.
cars into the dirt for a year.
So
getting
speaking of
another one.
cars, loser can be the Progressive commercials, right?
Oh my god.
That's what Baker did. That's what Baker did, bro. He's retired, do progressive.
Baker needs to do like, I don't know,
Yeah, but he
unemployment commercials.
Yeah.
We can't do "This Is My House" anymore. He
No, he
kicked
can't.
out.
He can just do this in my house, but
Yo,
he got
Deshaun Watson snuck into his crib,
fuck this
opened
bitch.
up his fridge, and put his lips all on the carton. And just drank out of it and put it back in for the rest of for Baker's family to eat.
Slept in his bed.
Yeah,
fucking
bro, it's bad.
wore
He
his
deleted-
clothes.
He deleted his
Took a shit
main
in
on
his
2K.
bathroom.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, like,
That's atrocious.
I don't know, bro.
All
It's
right.
looking scary for him.
We've been going for like an hour on this, which I feel like is an appropriate
Yeah,
amount of
it's
time to
crazy.
tackle.
We need more Nico's analogies. Shitty
Analogies. my bootleg cowherd shit. All right, AFC versus NFC. I feel like we've been in on this, but
Yeah,
I'm
pretty
tired
much
of
talking
this.
about it.
I'm
I'm
not
ti-
even gonna. Yeah, the AFC is obviously
I'm
better.
tired, Grandpa. It's too damn bad.
I'm gonna just go real quick. I don't even want too much discussion on it. If you guys could give your top 3 teams, like just in the NFL, straight up.
Oh, in the NFL,
NFL, I don't
that's
even.
hard.
Oh,
That's
shit.
hard?
Like off rip.
Yeah. Or if you just want
I'll
to say
tell
like
you what,
contenders.
Kansas City not top 3 no more.
I don't think they are.
Nah,
They might not even be top 10.
they're not top 3. Nah, they're not top.
But I think Buffalo top 3. I honestly think Buffalo might be the team to beat in the AFC now.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Buffalo top 3.
If they get one of these 3 running backs, if they get like Isaiah Spiller, they
probably
will be, or Kenneth Walker, they will be set. They will be a excellent roster. They need a running back.
My
though.
hot take.
Zach Moss, Devin Singletary not doing it. Yeah.
As of right now, nobody's going to agree with this one. But I'll say this. We'll be calling them a top 3 team at the end of next season. The Chargers.
No, I agree
I
with
can
that.
agree with that.
Oh, shit. All right.
Yeah,
I
no,
didn't
everyone
think that was going to hit.
The Chargers did enough for me. The only thing is, the Chargers did enough for me to agree that they'll be a top 3 team. The Chargers is probably the good version of the Brownsville Browns. The Chargers is the team that's been supposed to be getting over the hump for like the past decade, and it's just
That makes
like,
the right moves.
exactly. They make the right moves, do everything the perfect way, but then somehow still like don't pass the test.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, my issue is this. They did all these excellent. I think they got J.C. Jackson, right?
Yeah, they got
J.C. Jackson, excellent cornerback. I think him and Asante Samuel Jr. are going to be good. I think getting Khalil Mack, and if they can retain Joey Bosa, I think could be really scary.
On the back end.
Yeah, like, and this is my issue with the Chargers, is they constantly look super competitive.
And you see him on the field.
And then you see them on the field,
what
and
the fuck is that?
and they'll be like the 21st ranked defense this year, and you're like, yeah,
bamboozled, led astray, run amok.
and you're like, why is this defense so bad? Like, you have pass rushers, you have secondary guys, like, make this work. And I don't know what it is. If I had to give, some teams that I think, obviously the Bills are in there. I gotta see what the Ravens do because my dogs are going crazy right now. But I gotta see what the Ravens do before I crown them in that position.
In what position?
Oh, like
top 3?
Top 3. Yeah, hell no. But if I had to pick 3 teams right now, I'm gonna go Bills, Broncos, Chargers.
I can't put the
Dang, that's all AFC. I'll go.
I think,
Bills.
but if the Rams get Bobby Wagner, they're scooting the Chargers out.
Even though I know the AFC is better than the NFC right now, I have to at least have one NFC favorite. So I'm gonna go Bills, Rams. I'll probably go. I like the Broncos.
Bills, Rams, Broncos. I love the Broncos this year. We haven't talked too much about them, but I think we did last week.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Broncos. They got Bradley Chubb and now Randy Gregory on edge rushers. Yeah, so their defense is.
Defense is already.
They have a top 10 defense, and I think with Russell Wilson they have a top 10 offense. This shit reminds me is very similar to when Peyton went there. Although that Peyton team that he went on was one of the best football teams I've ever seen. If you go back,
because they got what? Because they had, that Broncos team had what? Akeem Talib and what's the other corner?
Talib wasn't on the Super Bowl
no,
team.
Talib wasn't. Talib wasn't there yet. Really? It was Champ Bailey and Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, I believe. Yeah, and then they had Raheem Moore in the secondary.
I swore Akeem Talib was there.
We talking about a Super Bowl team or what team we talking about?
Akeem Talib might have because I thought Talib was on the
I thought Champ retired.
I thought.
I swore Champ Bailey retired.
Champ retired before the Super Bowl because I'm trying to think. No, the secondary because I know.
He was on New England.
We're talking about 2014, right?
No, I'm talking about 2011. I'm talking about Peyton's,
the year Peyton had the touchdown.
Peyton's first year when the Ravens knocked them out of the playoffs. They were
about that season.
That was
they
2011.
2011, 2012.
I was talking about the Super Bowl.
It was 2012,
That was
2013. It was like that. That Super Bowl year. It was Peyton's first year there. They were a top 5 defense and a top 5 offense, and they were really, really good. I don't think they'll be top 5 in both, but I do think they can be top 10 in both, which is why I'm saying
I agree with that.
I think the Broncos are an incredibly well-rounded team. it just comes down to, is Russell Wilson gonna do his shit where
Mid-season Russ.
Mid-season Russ comes into form and you're just like, man, what the hell? But I don't think that's gonna happen this
I
time.
don't think that's going to happen as much this year because of their head coach being the offensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. Like, Russ has never had an offensive-minded head coach.
You also had DK Metcalf calling out the play call last year, saying by the middle of the season, defenses knew what they were going to do because they were kind of running the same plays, kind of the Greg Roman type shit. You know what I mean? Niggas, they seeing what you out here running before you even snap the ball.
I also don't think we've talked about mid-season Russ until the Seahawks started falling apart. I mean, when he was making Super Bowls and deep championship appearances, I didn't hear anything about mid-season Russ.
The Super Bowl run was on the back of the defense. And, I mean, that was his sophomore year. He still wasn't the one calling the plays.
And he's still the one having excellent playoff
I agree,
appearances, though.
but like it wasn't nothing too crazy. It was like, I don't want to say game manager, but you still had, he wasn't being, you saw what happened when they finally put the ball in his hands to win the game. Now Warren, it wasn't fully his fault that the ball got picked off in that Super Bowl loss to the Patriots.
It kind of was a little bit.
They put the ball in his hands instead of putting it in Marshawn Lynch's hands, who carried the offense for the last decade or so, and since then, they just haven't been, they made the playoffs consistently, but it's not like, oh yeah, Russ is taking these guys on deep playoff runs since then. It's been either one and dones or they might make it to the division.
Literally can't carry, a whole fucking team.
I agree, but he still had Doug Baldwin afterwards.
He had receivers, but he had no linemen, and I'm tired of hearing about Carson, what's his name, Chris Carson, and like Rashad Penny. I'm sorry, that's not Marshawn Lynch. The receivers still aren't really what they were, back when they actually won the Super Bowl and had Golden Tate and Percy Harvin.
Since DK, I don't know, because I feel like DK and Tyler Lockett,
they're good, but Lockett was hurt.
Yeah,
most of the year. That's not Russ's fault. I think he's entering a situation now where, Javonte Williams is a really good running back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're gonna get Melvin Gordon back there, but definitely an upgrade at offensive line.
I think he's on a contract, though.
No, he's not.
No,
he's a free agent. And the receivers aren't. There's no one there that's DK Metcalf, but I think Jerry Jeudy.
Courtland Sutton close.
I think Courtland Sutton's really good. I think Jerry Jeudy is the secret weapon on that team. Tim Patrick's an incredibly reliable slot
KJ
receiver.
Hamler.
I do a little bit of dynasty. I wouldn't be surprised if Jerry Jeudy finishes a top 15 receiver next year. Possibly even. I think it's going to be split a little bit too much between Sutton and Jeudy, but I think Judy's going to have his best season, as a pro, or one of his best seasons as a pro next year.
I could agree with that.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that is NFL talk. Oh yeah, we did have one fun. We did have one fun thing here. Pitch your expansion team. I guess we could turn this into a conversation. Is there any cities that you guys think?
Oh, I got one. I just came to my mind.
The Oklahoma City Lightning?
Nah.
Mexico.
The Honolulu Tides.
No.
Oh, that's
actually I don't.
Look, hear me out. We all love when the Pro Bowl is in Hawaii. We hate it when it was not in Hawaii. The players loved Hawaii.
That's gonna be the problem. They gonna have.
But then guess what? The players who play for the Honolulu Tides gonna win the Super Bowl every year.
That's going to be like such a hot free agency destination. It's just going to be tons of money, little winning, and just like they're just gonna be on the beach like all fucking year.
Hey, bro, if you want to segue good into the retirement, Joe, come over to Honolulu.
Oh my god,
we'll take care of you.
Hey, Tom Brady might end up there.
Hey, Tom Brady turned his franchise around.
If they put that out there 2 years, I think Brady might stick around a little bit.
Yeah,
move
Giselle,
down to Honolulu.
His wife Giselle would love to be in Hawaii too.
Oh my
we
god.
got it going.
Hey, real quick, can we appreciate this banger in the back?
Dun, dun, dun. I love the RuneScape music.
Going crazy, bro. This whole time I'm just getting lost, yo. I'm thinking this shit got me thinking Hawaii a little bit, like just the beat and everything. But I think a good destination for like a fantasy team I said a fantasy team, like an expansion team.
You're on Madden right now. You can pick any city.
Shit. I mean, you got to get one in Alabama. The football culture already in there.
The Birmingham.
You're not fucking with an Alabama team, bro. We got to do something about the AFC South anyway. Like the Jaguars got to go.
But the Birmingham Buffaloes or so.
Listen, Jacksonville got to get out of there.
I feel like we need to go. I'm gonna just go stupid with this segment. I think we got to go far north, far northwest.
Ain't nobody playing in Canada.
I think we need the Alaska.
Oh fuck no!
Hold up. Alaska, or would you rather play Alaska or in the UK?
I'll play UK.
I'd rather play in the UK.
You got to take a flight.
All right, but
Nico, you gotta do the harder part. You gotta give me a city, Nico. You can't just say Alaska.
Anchorage.
You can't just say Alaska, bro. You gotta give me a city.
Your whole roster gonna be full of
I
fucking
got the
Anchorage
perfect name.
motherfuckers. There gonna be no professional. Nobody wanna be there.
The Anchorage Abomination.
The Anchorage Eskimos.
Yeah, the Anchorage Eskimos. Hell yeah. There'd be like 10 people that come to the games in the stadiums, but it'd be like, Super Mario Strikers terrain up there. The football there would be crazy. Snow Bowl every week.
Well, I got a question.
What?
Is the stadium a dome or no?
No.
They're terrible. People gonna be injured left and right, bro.
You know what's even crazy?
Bro, if I could do this in Madden next year, I will buy.
Day game. You know, like the sun is set differently up there. Like the sun, they only get like a certain amount of hours where the sun ain't down in Alaska.
I don't even know what the time zone is.
It's like 22. It doesn't even matter. The sun's always up.
Yeah, the sun is like almost always up.
Yeah, but once you hit the winter, I think it's always down, right? Or it's vice versa.
Oh no,
it's one of the two. In the summer, it's either like 22 hours a night or it's like 22 hours a day. I had family that used to be up there, but I forget exactly what it was.
Fun fact: Alaska has 2 time zones.
Oh, really?
What the hell?
Yeah. They have like the Alaska time and Hawaii Aleut. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, I guess Hawaii time would be like regular.
Could you imagine the LA Rams like having to get ready to go up there?
They losing.
Like that's a loss.
It'd be like, remember when Odell was in Miami going to the frozen tundra in Green Bay?
Right.
For the playoffs, bro.
The receiver stats there would be crazy. It would be like 4 catches for 20 yards.
Nicole Hardman be an MVP.
Yo, the cameras would freeze up. The connection would be rough.
For 100 yards, right? But you
nuts.
look at the highlights, it's just straight. Whatchamacallit, end arounds, bro. Just straight end arounds.
It'd be old school football. It's my grandfather's football, you know. All right.
Wait, Greg, you got one?
I wouldn't mind Mexico.
New Mexico or Mexico?
Either one.
Oh, you just want like
same thing, right?
It's terrible. Terrible.
I wouldn't mind either one. I mean,
you have a team name? The New Mexico, like, I can't even say, we're gonna get demonetized.
The New Mexico Lobos.
Yeah, there you go.
Or I brought up the UK. I mean, I don't know who gonna want to take that flight, but I mean, I think the Jaguars should move over there by now.
You make a UK team, you gonna be the Scones, nigga. You gonna be the
Oh, it's the London the London Liberators. I don't even know.
Nah.
The Queen's Army.
The Queen's
All right, are we ready to talk about NBA? I'm ready.
Good. I like that.
I feel like that was a fun little skit. Let's try to reel it back into unfortunate reality, or fortunate. By that, I'm more so mean that, you know, COVID's obviously still here, but
We on the verge of World War III.
yeah, we on the verge of World War III. Ukraine's taking it. You know, the gas
Economy's
prices,
shitty.
economy's shitty. I mean, stuff's just not good right now. But I do like seeing Kyrie playing home games. I do think that the mandates, at the very least in America right now, are being lifted a little bit. and it seems like Kyrie will be able to play home games. He'll be available for all games outside of Canada. So if the Nets match up against the Raptors, you know, in the playoffs, they're kind of screwed. I don't think they'll have to worry about that, but it's interesting to keep in mind, especially
they'll
if
just play him in the play-in.
yeah, especially if they have to play them in the play-in and Kyrie's not available. So
I thought the Raptors was like top 5 in the East.
How-
Bugging.
I think it's like it's kind of
Nets
sucks
like
to say no
8th or
order. You
9th.
got the Heat, got Sixers, you got Boston,
Bucks,
you got Bucks, you got
Bulls.
Bulls, Cavs, then it's Raptors, Nets.
Yeah, and so they're basically fighting like around that play-in spot.
Damn, they gotta play them in the play-in in one game and no Kyrie
Yeah.
in Toronto.
So what do we think about Kyrie now, you know, being able to play full series? Does it change your outcome of what the Nets could possibly do in the playoffs, or do you think they're a doomed team?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yo, Kyrie, I just saw something crazy that said Kyrie's averaging 44 points or 62% from the field, 61% from the 3-point, and like, you know, high 80s, low 90s.
Oh, his
from the free
efficiency
throw.
numbers this year are great.
It definitely makes some things like different with Kyrie coming back into the swing of things. Now,
Still needed, though.
I think you still need Ben Simmons out there. Without him, it's still gonna be a little bit difficult without your your best perimeter, best defender overall. But I mean, Kyrie's just he's a guy that goes out there and wins games. He knows how to win games. You know, we could say whatever about legends and getting rings and doing all this as a leader of your team, but the fact of the matter is, any basketball team is better when a player
So
like Kyrie.
I agree with that, but let's not dance around the question. Like, does this make them does this put them higher in
puts them-
contender?
So what's their ceiling as far as their play?
like,
They
what's
could
the
win.
ceiling?
Yo, listen, they almost beat the defending champs last year without Kyrie, without Harden at 100%.
Yeah, but then they also lost.
So
to
they
the Memphis,
absolutely-
the jawless Grizzlies with KD
Listen,
and
we're not-
yeah. But I'm
we're
saying
not-
with KD and Kyrie Irving dropping almost 40.
Playoffs are a way different atmosphere. We don't
and
care about
defense
these.
matters in the playoffs, and who's playing
these
defense.
these meaningless regular season games right here when it comes to
Oh my gosh.
Listen, bro, listen.
Yo.
Hear me out.
I know, but I'm saying who's
Yeah.
playing defense.
No,
Listen.
I am hearing you out.
The
So what are you
Grizzlies
saying?
haven't made the playoffs, bro, and they're a West team, bro. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, like, they could still drop 40 per
Listen.
person and still possibly lose. What I'm saying.
maybe.
I think that in that case, the Los Angeles Lakers have just as much of a chance of making the championship that I think the Nets have. If you're gonna say that regular season games don't matter and defense doesn't matter, and
I'm not saying
it's
it
a way
doesn't
different
matter.
game in the
I'm not
playoffs,
saying it doesn't
I'm
matter,
gonna
but
trust LeBron James and Anthony Davis and a team full of veterans
You
in
don't
the
trust
playoffs.
Anthony Davis when he hasn't played all year. We trust
I
him.
might
We're
as
trusting.
well.
Trust
We're
Kyrie
trusting. We
Irving,
were
who
calling.
was
We were
not
calling
available all year?
KD. We were calling KD the MVP favorite for like the first half of the season.
Whoa, is LeBron not at the very least in a radius of that? Like, is he not
He's not
playing?
the favorite.
Well, I'm not saying
He's a
not
caliber. He's an MVP caliber.
I'm not
player.
saying he's a
Sure,
favorite, he's a
okay,
caliber.
but KD's an MVP. Is an MVP caliber player and just got a guy who's averaging 44 for the last 4 games. Like, yeah, okay, they lost to the Grizzlies. Nice. It doesn't listen. They almost did it last year. They were a size 18 away from doing it last year.
That's just he's wearing too big of shoes. Did he change his
Come on.
shoe size? Last time I checked, he's still wearing 18.
No, but this time now Kyrie wearing his size 11 is going to take the shot now, or could take the shot.
all right.
Yo, I'm just saying.
I think it's fair. I'm glad that you're the one that's going to sit here and go to bat for the Nets because it makes it interesting.
I am, because
Yeah.
I mean
So-
we with Kevin Durant and Kyrie and with a fresh Kyrie, absolutely. have
I
a
mean,
chance
with
to
their
do
new
something.
role players, they did just shit on
I mean,
the
even-
76ers.
Even that year that KD sat, you remember after he tore his Achilles in the
Yeah.
first year Kyrie was there. When Kyrie was playing, the Nets were
In the playoffs.
they were, and not only they were a high seed. I'm pretty sure before Kyrie went out, they were a pretty high seed.
So if you're I think their
East, but
ceiling
yeah.
is at least the Eastern Conference Finals. I said at least.
I think.
But the thing-
I think the Eastern Conference Finals.
Are
yo,
you saying at least?
I don't
the
want to say at
Eastern
least. I mean
Conference
at the
Final?
highest.
Oh,
my
I'm
bad.
saying. Oh,
Whoa.
you're saying the highest? Oh shit! Well, I was
Because
about
it's
to
like-
get into it. 'Cause
All
I
right, if
think
you're all right. So
that's
say
the floor.
all right. So you
That's the floor.
assuming they're saying at the 8 seed because a KD led Nets team against like the Raptors are. I don't think people give the Raptors enough credit because the Raptors are pretty loaded.
They're good.
So
I
say if they
wouldn't
set
say
the 8
loaded,
seed.
but I do think that they're talented.
That's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
They know how to win.
But all
Yeah.
right. So all right.
And they,
So
have
first
they have a great coach. I love Nick Nurse.
So
I think
do
he's
you
a great
think-
coach?
they'll beat Miami first round.
No,
Oh,
Do you think the
the
Nets will beat
Nets
the
are
Miami?
being Miami. No,
First
I do
round.
not.
do we not just see Miami yesterday?
I don't care. They're a passionate basketball team. Passionate teams don't get in fights.
Yeah,
But the Heat are pretty-
Jimmy
they're
Butler got
possibly-
in fights in Minnesota. He got in fights.
All right, but when Jordan's
Pat
punching,
Riley like that
you know, Steve Kerr in the face, we weren't giving him shit. And when Kobe Bryant was getting in fights with teammates, we weren't, you know.
Yeah, they were winning rings.
All right, but Jimmy Butler was just in the finals like 2 years ago.
They lost. Bro, really, come on, bro.
But I
it's,
mean-
it's KD and Kyrie, and you sitting here saying that we don't have a chance in the first round. Like,
no, you have a chance, but I still think Miami's just too deep.
Yeah, I mean, like, is Drummond stopping Bam Adebayo? I don't know. I'm not going to put my money on that. Do they have an answer defensive?
if you're gonna start looking at it
Do
like
they have an answer
is
defensively
somebody
for Tyler
stopping
Hero?
who? Is somebody stopping who, bro?
I mean,
like,
I don't want that. I just think there's a
when
lot.
is that? That's never been the case for the Nets, though. They were never gonna.
No, they're
they
not.
were never gonna strap you. And Ben
Yeah.
Simmons is there to even show a grimace to that. We're gonna put 140 on you and hope that you can do it all series two
But I
because we
think
definitely can.
that
And
Miami
that's why these
won't
regular
stop
season.
the Nets, but they
that's
can
why.
contain them.
But that's why
Yeah,
these
can slow
regular
them down.
season. But that's why these regular season.
And you
things
don't
is
believe
I'm
in Eric
looking at, like,
Spoelstra?
I believe in Eric Spoelstra, but
And
you
I believe
think-
that Eric Spoelstra be able to limit the
So
Nets.
Miami was a better defensive team than the Lakers team that they lost to in the finals, and that didn't matter.
No, wait. That Lakers team was like ranked first defensively.
Yeah,
I
they
thought.
were ranked.
They were
first
ranked
defensively.
They were
Yeah.
the first ranked defensive
I
team.
thought
and they won the
Miami was like.
championship.
I thought the year Miami lost
They
to
were
them in the
probably top
finals.
10.
They were like,
They were definitely top 10, but the Lakers were number one.
No, they were
And
excellent.
plus,
but
like
the
now
Lakers
they
were
add,
really good.
I said now they also added like like PJ Tucker, he's a scrappy defender. And,
Oladipo's averaging like 4 games,
yeah, but
and
he's
not
a
gonna
bench-
play
he's a
heavy
bench
minutes.
player.
He's not gonna
You
play
know he's
heavy
a bench
minutes.
He
in
won't
the
play heavy
playoffs.
minutes in the playoffs.
And then like you got Kyle Lowry, who's just a scrappy.
Don't bring up Kyle Lowry.
All right, but I'm just saying
Nah.
he's just a scrappy.
Talk about that.
I don't know. It's Greg that don't like that.
That don't like Kyle. Oh, I
I don't
forgot.
care about it.
I mean,
It's
I just think that they're pretty. They got the firepower, but I mean, you start going down the list. Like, I like the Bucks over
What about
them.
Patty Mills?
It was good.
About Nick Claxton off the bench?
All right.
How about Tyler Hero off the bench?
You don't got to. What about Seth Curry off the bench?
I just think- Let me say this. I think for the Nets to
Patty
reach
Mills not putting up.
No, he's not putting up 25.
for the
He
Nets
don't
to
got
reach
you,
their
bro.
full potential, Kevin Durant's gonna have to do similar to what he did last season, which is drop like 40 and then start averaging triple doubles damn near in the playoffs. And I just don't think that that's
doubting
sustainable. I mean, I don't want it to be like I'm doubting him, like I don't think he can do it. But yeah, no, I don't think. Yeah, I don't. I don't trust Kevin Durant to
I
lead.
say just say it.
Yeah, I don't trust Kevin Durant to lead a basketball team by himself into the finals because he's never done that.
And that's why I think that it's so important that Kyrie is there because he doesn't have to.
Okay.
He doesn't have to.
Hey, I guess we'll find
Shit.
out. I guess we'll find
Cam
out.
Thomas coming off that bench.
It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see. But
PG.
Man brought up kid.
all right. But now that we're on the subject of championship caliber teams, I don't know. Who do you guys have top 4 in each conference? And don't look at the rankings. Like, who do you genuinely think has a shot of making the championship? I don't even gotta do top 4. Like, who do you think is gonna be in the finals? I will say I do think this might be one of the best playoff runs that we're gonna have for a while. Because I have no idea.
So
I just
I'll
be
just do
straight up.
I'll just do like top 3 favorite teams, I guess, each conference. The East, I do like Boston. I'm not putting North, but I do like Boston.
I like Boston. a lot,
I'm
too.
not going to dethrone the champion Bucks anytime soon, so I like the Bucks. And I will say, I'll give the Nets a fighting chance.
Oh. I thought she was ready to say Philly, bro.
No, I'm not giving Philly a look, but I'll give the Nets a fighting chance because of KD, mainly because of KD, but also because of how great of a scorer Kyrie Irving is. West, I got Phoenix because I think they're just their roster is probably like the best I've ever seen in a while.
They have a pretty good roster.
The best you ever seen.
Like top, I mean, not like super talented. Like
You mean
like
like
LeBron.
depth?
You mean just
like
like
depth.
well
like
put
depth.
together?
Yeah, like well put together.
yeah.
Like 1 through 10, they're pretty.
It's like a
freaking-
Steve Nash Suns
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, it's like
but
pretty
with
good
a
1
better
through
Joe
10.
Johnson.
And the bench is good, and like everyone can shoot. Everyone on that
Everyone
team
can
can shoot. It's insane. Their win percentage is nuts. Are they first in the
Oh,
conference?
yes.
They're either first
They're-
or second.
I think
They're
they're
by a
first
mile.
in the NBA by like a
By a
little
mile.
Oh yeah, I mean
They're
they're
the only team that well they were the first team to clinch by like what 6-7 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Second, I got Memphis. Third, I'll say Golden State.
You gotta put Golden State. Yeah, I think they deserve the respect. I think they deserve the respect.
But I do say one thing I would say about Golden State. I would like to. I think it's interesting to take note of, is the. I don't want to say chemistry, but just how Klay Thompson reacts to possibly how Jordan Poole might just be that guy.
Better.
He might just be better
Yeah.
for the team right now or moving forward, possibly.
I mean, I think he's a good 6-man option, even if you do want to keep playing the starting lineup. But Jordan Poole, when he's hot, his hot hand, and I mean, Klay Thompson is one of the legendary hot hands, but you got to wonder about how limited he is. It'll be interesting to see what their rotations look like moving into the playoffs.
How you feel about the Jazz?
I don't know.
Boo, tomatoes.
I think,
nah,
but
I'm
the thing is,
done.
like with the Jazz, is like, well, I don't want to look at seeding or anything, but I just feels like they have the ceiling, and their ceiling is the second round to me.
Yeah, but then they get to the playoffs, and it's just like.
I it's not that I don't believe in Donovan Mitchell because he can hoop. I just don't believe anybody else. Yeah, anybody else is gonna take it to the next level.
I was just saying, I think another team in the West out there that I feel like probably should get another look, and I'm not even sure where they're like ranked right now. I just been paying a lot of attention to like who they've been beating.
What, the Wolves?
No, I was gonna say the Mavericks.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been-
I like
it's-
the
it's-
Mavericks.
It looks like
Luka's
Luka,
having a secretly really good season.
and that's the thing I'm about to say. It looks like Luka can finally not play 46 minutes a game. Like Spencer Dinwiddie's
Told
been
y'all
going
about
in there.
Spencer, bro.
It was a
Spencer
good.
Dinwiddie's
It's
been
looking
going in
good.
there just handling himself. Like I think they just
That-
won one without Luka.
That Nets game
was insane.
was nuts.
Yeah.
I thought KD was like, I was like, damn it, they got us again. But then Spencer went out and was like, nah, I'm gonna just put this right in your face. Get out, I own it. So
So what was your rankings again?
I didn't really put it in any order. I was just
No, not in order, but like your 3 teams in each conference.
Shit. The East. I mean, of course the Nets. The Celtics were on a real long streak for a while.
I mean, they're
But
still
finally-
on a pretty good tear.
Yeah.
They're playing. They finally. I didn't think they'd be able to fix their like chemistry issues, but if you watch them play now, I feel like they pass with a lot more urgency, and the playmaking looks like it's there, and that's why they've been able to win games because they have the talent to score. It's just setting up that talent in positions to score. Not to mention, it seems like the defense has taken a considerable leap forward. It feels like it's finally starting.
I think
to
they're
click.
the best defense in this past year.
Yeah, no, they've been the best defense, or at least one of them for the past, like since All-Star break,
Yeah.
pretty much.
So what's your
Yeah,
third
so
team?
we got the Nets, Celtics, and Bucks because you know Giannis out there doing his thing, and I don't want to beat that dead horse either. But Giannis is out there doing his thing. And then in the
He is
West,
out in Milwaukee.
I mean, you just heard mine. Ain't really nobody to say that y'all haven't touched on. I think the Suns probably are the favorites to come out the West. The Nuggets still look dangerous as usual. I hate to think about where the Nuggets would be if they were healthy.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray and MPJ out there with what Bones Highland's out there doing now, and then you got Monte Morris and Jeff Green and Aaron Gordon. Like I think roster wise, this is a championship team. With Jokic having his MVP years and everything like this, but they just got to get healthy.
I think when I look at this, I try to think about who's the best players in the league, because the best players in the league usually end up in the finals. In that instance, I might make Greg happy and proud by saying this, but I think my number one team in the league that I think will make the finals this year, and I want to call it, is the Milwaukee Bucks. I think Giannis is on the precipice of doing some truly great shit that hasn't been done in a long time. And I mean, since genuinely outside of a couple bad series early in his career, against the Raptors and the one against the Heat, I mean, what I just saw him go on in this last playoff run that he was on, and especially in the finals, in critical must-win games, he absolutely took them over. I don't think I see any team in the East stopping Giannis from going out there in a must-win game and dropping 40 on you.
And he's shooting better now.
Yeah, and he's shooting better, and the cast around him seems to be healthy. It seems to be, it's the Bucks.
Brook Lopez back.
If they were healthy, they'd be contending for a 1 or 2 seed right now. Mm-hmm. So I like the Bucks a lot. If I had to pick 2 other teams in that conference though that I think could make it, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna leave the Celtics out, but I do think they have a small chance of making it. But I'm actually going to go with the.
Don't say Philly.
No, I'm actually not gonna go with Philly, because I gotta see them win playoff series, with that court first. I'm gonna go with the Bulls.
Okay.
And and the
they can get healthy.
and the Heat. I do think the Heat do have a chance of making it.
Nets?
I think they're no. No, I'm not doing the Nets. They've won 7 playoff games in the last 4 years. And granted, there's a lot of circumstance around that, but I just don't trust Kevin Durant. I don't for him to carry that team. I also don't trust Kyrie Irving. I think they're both. Damn, I'm gonna get shit for saying it. Hot take alert, but I think they're both all-time great twos. They are fantastic, complementary second players, but I don't think either one can lead their team to a championship. I don't think they have that caliber in them. At least not unless the deck is stacked in their favor. I don't think they have the ability to do that. Nair looks like he's about to blow up. Nah, go off on me. Do it.
Well, yeah, go ahead.
I agree with
Do it.
Kyrie
Fry
Irving,
me.
but not KD.
That might be the worst shit I've ever heard in my life, nigga.
Oh, it's absolutely the most out of pocket shit I've said on this
Coming
podcast.
from you,
I'm tired of
because look, if somebody said that about Braun right now,
that's
and
ridiculous.
I'm not saying that,
That'd
and
be
I'm not saying that,
ridiculous.
and I'm not
Yeah.
about to say that, but literally, if I were to say that about LeBron, you'd be like, well, nobody does it alone. Nobody.
Whoa. All right, so I'm not saying
LeBron has won when the cards have been stacked. I don't want to hear it now that
he's won against.
He's lost when the cards weren't
Hold up,
stacked.
he's won though when he's gone up against better teams, and he's won when the odds have been against him. That has happened. I've not seen Kevin Durant do that.
That's not Kevin Durant's fault.
Wait, I'm not saying it is his fault, but the fact of the matter is
That doesn't make him. That doesn't just make
didn't-
him an all-time great too, just because
he
because
didn't.
he didn't have
he
to
didn't.
do that.
He didn't win on OKC. He had to join a 73-9 team.
When he went to
in
the
order.
finals at OKC, he was 23 years old.
Yeah, he did. They couldn't beat the Heat.
But he was 23 years old against prime LeBron and prime Dwayne Wade. And yes, I don't care what nobody says. Dwayne Wade was in his prime.
It's
and
a
Chris
bit.
Bosh.
It's all right. I am being a bit excessive, but I feel like the flaws that the Nets have in their game isn't enough for Kevin Durant to be able to compensate and accomplish over a whole playoff run.
Well,
There's
I'll tell
a
you this,
reason.
with Ben Simmons there, does that change?
There's a reason. He's not playing.
I'm
This year.
saying with Ben Simmons there.
It might. That might be enough. That might be enough.
Okay, is that not a LeBron team? Is that so? How
did this become a LeBron conversation?
Well, because you said KD isn't good enough to.
I just said I don't think he's shown that alpha. Like
the way you worded it, it's like he just like as if he can't do it.
I can see what Nico's saying.
Like,
and I'm like, yo, everybody we've had in.
He's trying to say that KD has flourished as like a premier number 2, but never as a number 1.
And I'm saying
and then
he was also
and then like the only time that he was a number 1, he was like a size 18, 17 foot. But like he was
clearly the best player on those Golden.
Yeah, hold up.
I want to say he was the best player, but he was not the most. You can say that Steph was more impactful though.
I won't even say that. I mean,
Steph Curry made their offense go.
KD was like top 7 in defensive player.
Yeah, I get that, but the team was Steph's.
Hold up. An MVP player is not a 2. Okay, so I don't want to misconstrue this into saying that he is a 2. He's a 1. However, when it comes to championship caliber players and playoff success outside of Golden State and one run, in the West with a really good Thunders team, I mean, I've seen Kevin Durant choke a 3-1 lead against the Golden State Warriors, and then what have I seen since then? Well, when the deck's stacked in his favor, you can go and win titles. But what can you do when you have to play the better team? I haven't seen Kevin Durant be able to step up and beat that, and there's a lot of better teams in the East. So that's the point that I'm making.
I'll say this too. I won't dispute it because we haven't seen it. I guess there's a little bit of slack, bro. Like we're talking about the 73-9 Warriors, bro. Like only 10 niggas beat them all year. You know what I'm saying? 10 niggas beat them all year.
Only 9, but then the playoffs,
like the finals.
Yeah,
like can't cut them some slack.
I'm just saying, like is that not an asterisk? We put asterisks on winning all the time. Can we put an asterisk on losing?
3-1.
It's the 73. That's probably the only team that KD's losing that.
But the thing is that you're up 3-1. It's not. It's not. So like, if you were to tell me that Kevin Durant shot like 45%, having like 28, 30 points, dropping like and you're literally telling me that Russell Westbrook singly lost them the series, that I have no problem granting you that. But both KD was pretty terrible that series.
No, it's like they got up, and then everyone has tried to throw Russell Westbrook under the bus for this series, and it's absolutely ridiculous.
Russell Westbrook was literally like almost the best player in that series at the end. But I say because Russell Westbrook literally almost kept them afloat, but it was just that they both like Kevin Durant shot 2 for 12 I
didn't want to turn this into like defending blowing a 3-1 lead either. I'm just saying like that was a little unfair to say. It
might be harsh. I might be doing it. Might have even came off as the shit that they do on like First Take or like Undisputed, and I'm not trying to get absolutely ridiculous. But I do want to put the context of where KD's career is right now, and not, like give him all this praise for, oh my God, he'd make all these shots. All right, do it. Like, do it in the playoffs against better teams, and then I'll believe it. But I'm not going to put the Nets in the top 3 conversation until I can see Kevin Durant actually do it consistently. Last year was close. Last year, he was kind of carrying them. Is Kyrie going to be enough to get them through this East? I don't think so. But I guess we'll find out.
He almost did it without Kyrie last year.
Yeah.
And James Harden was like 60%.
And James Harden was hobbled.
60% didn't want to be there. Literally was like, I mean, he even made the shot. It ain't like he missed the shot. Like he made the shot. Just one.
But then it got in overtime, and Giannis was like barbecue chicken.
I mean, they still only lost by the Harity.
I just look. If it comes down to it, Giannis is becoming arguably one of my favorite players like ever. Like I fucking love Giannis. I love
Giannis too. You know how I feel about.
No, Giannis. I know. I'm not. It's not even like a Giannis, versus KD debate. Like I'm just saying, like, man, I love Giannis, and I think these other teams are really deep. If the Nets were like a 4th seed right now, this would be a different conversation.
I think the only reason we're not is because KD was out and Kyrie was part time.
And Harden.
Yeah.
I mean,
Harden didn't
Harden
wanna be
was
there.
there, but
He didn't
he
really
didn't
wanna
want to
be
be
there.
there. Yeah.
Well, he wasn't.
So, I don't know. That's my team's. Oh, I didn't even give my West. West is the same shit. Let me say this. Huge asterisk on this. Okay, if healthy, the Suns will make the finals. If Chris Paul has a bullshit injury in the playoffs or
That's a
before
big
the
asterisk,
playoffs, is a massive asterisk.
Big ass.
If he is limited in any capacity or his hamstring goes out, they will not make the finals, and the finals will either be the Grizzlies or Golden State.
You got Grizzlies going all the way.
I think they have a chance to, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause,
I don't
like,
think any West team is strong enough for me to definitively say, yeah, they beat them in a series.
Grizzlies
I think the
beat
Grizzlies could sun the Golden State Warriors. And if Chris Paul is limited in a series, I think that their youth has enough to blow past, the Suns. I mean, if Chris Paul's out there limping, I don't think defensively they're able to stop their weapons.
There with one arm.
I mean, Desmond Bain, like they're as if not
Jackson.
more.
Steven Adams.
They're as if not more of a grindy defensive tough team as the Suns can be. And that's what I'm saying. Like if Chris Paul is injured, I mean I genuinely think it might be a 2-man race between the Grizzlies and the Suns. I don't know. The Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry need to get out of the slump that they're in. I just think
I don't see how everybody has Golden State in their top 3 with Steph Curry coming back off of these bad ankles.
I just like the Golden State's depth. Like you got Steph Curry who can, even though he might not be having like the
experience.
best season, but like he's still doing his thing. Draymond's back. He's gonna help solidify their defense a bit. I personally like Jordan Poole currently more than Klay Thompson as of right now. Jordan Poole can go off for like 20 plus any night if he wants to. Andrew Wiggins is a solid 2-way player, giving you a cool 16 to 18 points with solid defense. They still got Kuminga. They got Otto Porter, aka Wilt Chamberlain, reincarnated.
Wilt Chamberlain.
I'm just talking about their depth. I'm not talking about like
Juan Toscano Anderson.
But they got some good pieces, and it's not even me bringing up Klay Thompson either. So
Ain't no reason to bring up Klay Thompson right now. He ain't playing like Klay Thompson on either side of the ball.
I mean, it was kind of expected, at least defensively. Like I saw that coming, but offensively, you'd think. I don't know.
You think as a spot-up shooter, he would still have that shooting?
He'll show it sometimes, but no,
he's going.
I thought it would I thought it would look like this.
Mm-hmm.
I said when he came back, I was like, his comeback game was freaking great, but
it's not sustainable.
It's like how low are the lows? I mean, the issue with the Klay thing is the consistency isn't there,
right?
And that's. But can the playoffs come and he turn it on and all of a sudden Klay's back to shooting 40%? I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I wouldn't be surprised if him and Steph look good in the playoffs when the game slows down. And it's about making timed shots in important moments. I think Klay can still do that. That's why I have Golden State, high up there. And with Draymond, they're a really good defensive team. So he can slow down what stuff like the Grizzlies and Suns are doing. I don't even want to get into like the Nuggets, Jazz, Lakers, Pelicans, like, the lower seeded teams in the West or even the Mavericks. I think the Mavericks are a little bit away from, being contenders. I think they're 1 or 2 pieces from that.
So I'll say this. As much as I'll be on Karl Anthony Towns, I'll say this. I'm not picking in no way for the Timberwolves to go win the finals or nothing like that, even make a finals.
You think they could knock someone off?
I think they could be an upset. They could be an upset on.
I agree with that.
Minnesota, like what Cat and Edwards is doing, and then D'Angelo Russell is just developing into like one of the most consistent players.
And Pat Bev is back to being a menace.
Yeah, bro. Like,
yeah.
I like the culture that the Timberwolves are starting to establish. I need Cat to like tone it down a little bit.
No, I like it. I love it because for a player who's consistently been soft, I hated the trade that they did to acquire Patrick Beverley because it's kind of like a little bit of like a reputation thing defensively for him. But apparently he has gotten into Karl Anthony Towns' head that he can go out there and just sun people, and I absolutely love it because I
like
think
it when he does it on the court and just leaves it there. But you can't do that and then go log on to your vlog after.
Oh yeah, his Skype, and he's like, "Well, Russell Westbrook is."
You know, if you're just hooping and just doing that, keep doing that, bro. Y'all are winning.
No, I like it. The clapping, the energy.
I like that. I saw
the dunking on people. I
Jay
love
Crowder.
it. Yeah. Although he did dunk on Jay Crowder, clap a bunch, and then proceed to drop 3 points and 3 rebounds for the rest of the game and lose.
Yeah,
So,
and that's what I'm saying. That's why I need him to just relax a little bit. You got Ant Edwards out there who's like he's been consistent. He's inconsistent with like his highs and his lows, but he's liable to get you like a 35-point game out of the blue. This is why I like and I do like Karl Anthony Towns doing it. I think it makes for entertaining basketball. But this is also why I like having a Tim Duncan or Kawhi Leonard who just dunk on you or make a good play and then just stone face. All right. Next possession. Yeah. Like I think that's good on a team where a lot of people are doing that too. So I don't know, Greg. I think it's time for you to give your predictions. You've been off the mic a little bit.
So from the East, you already know. Gotta get my Bucks in there.
Hell yeah.
I'll throw the Nets in there. I think I gotta figure out what's going on with Ben Simmons. I don't know how the fuck you got back hernia. And you ain't played all fucking year.
You've been sitting too long.
What you been doing? Hunched over playing COD in front of your PC all fucking the whole time you've been out. But I think they can get Ben Simmons. Even without Ben Simmons, I think just the scoring of KD and Kyrie could potentially get them to a finals. And then I'll go with you on Chicago. If Chicago can get healthy. Now the issue is they haven't beat a top 3 team on either side of. Well, in the East or the West.
They also haven't been like Alex Caruso got manhandled by Grayson. I forgot to talk about Grayson Allen. I hate the way this guy plays basketball, but it's also another reason why I like the Bucks to win because I think Grayson Allen could piss some people off. Yeah. And now he's on a contender, so people. The Grayson Allen hate train is going to be in full effect this postseason. And he got his nights
where he do actually put up a decent.
He's become a good 3-point shooter.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, I hated that trade at first, but I ain't mad at it.
He's become a good 3-point shooter and plays good defense. Yeah. Granted, it is dirty defense. It is not the type
Everybody say nothing when
he'll play. He out there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. No, Chris Paul will just like flop and do
Grayson Allen be out there kicking.
Grayson Allen literally almost killed people. Alex Caruso.
But with the Bulls, it's like you said, Alex Caruso missed a huge chunk of the middle of the season. Lonzo been out since when? Shit, I don't even remember when last time.
It's been since October. Yeah.
Patrick Williams, I don't even think started the year.
Oh no, he's coming back.
Yeah, he just got cleared to play in the G League, so he'll be back in about a week or two. So if they can get healthy, I think the defense. I think Patrick Williams comes in. You got a defensive guy along with Caruso and Lonzo.
I think they have as much depth as the Heat does.
Right? I agree.
Yeah.
Because Ayo DeSumo has been playing well, the rookie guard. And then I think before Lonzo and Caruso both got hurt, they were like a top 10 and defensive team as well as top 10 offensively.
They're great. And also I think DeMar DeRozan's been having a historically great mid-range shooting. Just historically great season in general. He's put up numbers I think in like a 3-game stretch comparable to Wilt Chamberlain. My issue with DeMar is it's like, all right, let's see it in the playoffs. My issue with this team is they're really young and inexperienced. But this is one of those changing of the guard seasons where I think the younger teams are starting to get an advantage, and I wouldn't be surprised if, they do start winning. But that's also why I have the Bucks being such a heavy favorite. I think they have the perfect level of experience, and then their superstar is like 27 and in his absolute apex prime. Giannis to me is like prime freaking, Hakeem Olajuwon right now, just dominating people. So that's kind of why I have them there. But who do you have in your West?
The West, I got the Suns there. And like you said, it's Chris Paul, man. like you said, Chris Paul come out here and get hurt on some bullshit again, they not making the finals.
Yeah, no,
It's too many times where we've seen him get hurt. It looks like they're about to run away with the series, or it looks like they're going to dominate the series, and boom, he's hurt. I don't know. It'd be a hamstring. It could be his wrist. It could be his ankle. It don't matter. He seems to get hurt at the most inopportune times for his teams. But so I have the Suns. I have Memphis. I really like Memphis. I like the culture there. I like the youth mixed with. They got some. I don't want to say some experience. I mean, I feel like Steven Adams is the only key contributor that has a decent amount of experience.
Kyle Anderson got some experience with the Spurs.
Man, ain't nobody worried about slow mo, bro. But they got the youth though, and they got the it factor in them. They got that dog in them. It's something about Memphis when Memphis is good. It's something about Memphis that is like that nitty gritty grind it out type of team that make you work for it. And like you said, they special. Ja is something about Ja too.
Yeah, me and I have been talking about it. We've made the Derrick Rose comparisons, but like I genuinely think that team reminds me a lot of like that young Bulls team.
Yeah.
Back when, and obviously like the Heat were beating that, but there's something that the Heat, the 2013 Heat or whatever, 2012 Heat, they don't exist right now in the West. So it's like what juggernaut's stopping them?
Right.
I think the Suns can, but Chris Paul needs to be healthy for that.
And then my third team, I'll go with Golden State.
Yeah.
So I mean,
same three.
I just can't. We talked about Utah. I can't trust Utah. It's Donovan Mitchell and then who the fuck else? You expecting Rudy Gobert to come out there and give you 25? No. Is Jordan Clarkson. Now, if Jordan Clarkson was playing this year like he played last year.
Now somebody that claims to value defense as much as y'all do, man. Y'all gonna make me defend Rudy Gobert. Y'all gonna make me be the one to do it.
On defense, though.
I value defense, but I can't value defense.
They got a 6 Man of the Year contender.
Who?
Jordan Clarkson.
From last year, yeah.
Well, I'm saying just in general, he's a spark plug, bro. That's his job.
But the way the Utah plays defense, they're just funneling the guards who blow by. They're just blowing by.
I just don't think
they're funneling the opposing team's guards into the center.
I value defense.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I'm not making the case for the Suns. We gotta figure out this awkward ass mic situation.
No, I agree. We're working. The tax returns are coming in.
We're working on it.
we about to get right. But I'm not trying to make my case for like the Jazz that much. I was just making a little observation, y'all got Rudy Gobert out there. Y'all can drag his name through the dirt.
But it's like
I don't even like the guy, but come on, y'all.
I value defense, but my thing is, I feel like defense can only. It's not like football where they say defense wins championships. I feel like defense can only get you so far in the NBA if you don't got enough people scoring as well.
If they had shooters and like
their shooters are hurt.
Their shooters got hurt.
Either hurt or got traded. Yeah. I think Ingles got traded.
And then
Bogdanovich is hurt.
Yeah, and it's more so the fact that this team in the playoffs just consistently underperforms, like on their season averages across the board. And they score less points and they allow more points.
Part of that is because don't nobody show up besides Donovan Mitchell. And then by the time you get halfway through the series, then he's starting to not show up because he burnt out.
Yeah,
there's nobody there that's like, all right, you give me 20, but I give you 25 to 30 tonight, or I take a bigger part of scoring load tonight so you can get a little bit of a break to have you fresh when we get into game 5 or game 6.
You know who would have been a good addition for them this year? Carmelo Anthony. I felt like if they had Carmelo, granted the wing defense would still be shit, but I feel like it would have spaced out the floor and given someone that can put up like 14, 15 points off the bench.
I mean, their offense, they literally just run a 4 wide and just have Rudy Gobert in the middle.
Yeah.
So.
But I don't know. They're just not talented enough. Like, their superstars aren't talented enough to beat other team superstars.
They made a trade for Mike Conley.
That's what it comes down to. Like, Donovan Mitchell's a really good guard. okay, but he's not game breaking like a Steph Curry, or I would even say like a John Morant is. You know, like Rudy Gobert is a great defensive center in a league that being that really doesn't mean much.
Especially
like when it comes to winning, like when's the last time a great defensive center has gone out and won a championship? Are you gonna say the 2014 Spurs? Like it might even be
Tyson Chandler.
It might,
Dallas.
yeah, Tyson Chandler, Dallas. That's a great.
That's 2011.
And you're looking at 2011 where it was
That's
almost a
only 10
different.
years.
Yeah, but that's almost a different sport. 3-point shooting wasn't what it was, you know. So, yeah, fair. All right, last segment. MVPs, NBA. Who you guys got?
You already know who I got.
If I about to say, if you want favorites, I got Giannis. But if you don't want to do like the top three,
Oh, it's either John
I-
or me.
if you
Oh,
don't
yeah,
want to do
yeah.
top three, I'm
I'm gonna say
I'ma
your
Jason
favorite
Tatum.
favorite and dark horse.
I'll say Jason Tatum. I would argue against Ja Morant because
His
right-
team wins without him.
yeah, the team wins without him. They're like before last night, I think they were 12-5. Now they're like 13-5.
Yeah.
And now they got 2 more weeks without Ja, and
I
probably
think they're
going to
like
win a
15
good
and
more.
2.
Huh?
So I think the Grizzlies are like 16-2 without Ja.
Yeah,
Like,
you
it's
might
something
be right.
crazy.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
They just won tonight.
Yeah, and then they got 2 more weeks without Ja. They'll probably still keep the second seed. So it's kind of like he's an MVP player. He's an MVP caliber player, but like when your team's winning without you, it's kind of hurting your case at the same time.
I'm gonna piggyback off what you just said, and I also just looked at the scores. Celtics happened to play the Jazz tonight. Donovan Mitchell dropped an efficient 37, and they lost by 29.
Exactly. Who was the second leading scorer on the Jazz?
I think it was Gobert with like 14.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah.
reliable when it
I see
comes
what you're
time
saying.
for a 7-game series and somebody got.
Hey, I wasn't picking the Jazz though, but I didn't think it was gonna be this bad. I mean, the Jazz were doing.
It's all about D Wade
Great.
going talking and not leaving. Not
Um,
it's gone.
I'm gonna go. I mean, who I think is going to win this award, unfortunately, is Jokic. I don't want him to win this award. No one's been watching the Nuggets this year. Although his passing's been exceptional. He's actually taken steps forward defensively and he's scoring at a high clip. But I think it's almost coming off of necessity. Like, you know, obviously, not Gary Harris, Jamal Murray's not back.
Neither is MPJ.
Yeah, and so he just needs to do so much. But I think the stats are kind of inflated as such. It's almost like it's almost like when Harden was putting up crazy point numbers or point totals, and you're like, all right, yeah, like it's cool, but it's just like they weren't winning games, not until like, you know, later on into his Houston tenure. But to me, it's like that 14, like when Westbrook won it and Harden like had more points and won more games, and you know, you could have made the argument that he probably could have won it. Like, yeah, it kind of feels like that, but I want Giannis to win this award. Or Joel. I'll take either one. I mean, I think those are the top three.
A third MVP for Giannis.
We already had that
But
conversation.
I don't,
It's crazy.
Again, I'm not about to. This is not the Giannis suck fest right here. All right,
Yeah.
this is.
But the dark horse MVP, the one that, you know, the chosen one fans are going to be talking about for years after he retires.
No.
How a 37-year-old, 19, is averaging 30
I will
points,
say it's pretty insane.
8 rebounds and 6 assists.
Pretty insane.
Good
It's-
efficiency too.
If you're
reminds
just
me-
off of 52% shooting, he's averaging over his career totals in points, field goal percentage, and rebounds in year 19. Yeah, if you're just looking off of player stats, like if we completely eliminated teams and you just saw like player stats, a lot of people would actually have LeBron
That's fair.
in their conversation for the best player,
Definitely
you know,
in
or most
conversation,
valuable in the
possibly
league.
First.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, it's ridiculous what he's doing.
I
It
put
kind of
him in
reminds me of that last year that Kobe was great. Remember the Dwight Howard year. The
Yeah,
Steve
when he
Nash
had
year?
when he had the like what
The
was
goatee.
it? The goatee.
Yeah, and he was running point because Steve Nash like broke his back in the beginning of the year.
His last like 8 games before he tore his Achilles too, he was averaging
Yeah.
like damn near 40 points.
Yeah, because he was willing them like single-handedly into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But it's eerily similar to that, and I say to that though, the difference is, and you see it, LeBron's just a machine. Like, he hasn't had a major injury until he got to LA, and then even that groin injury
It's not even
was
major.
Like,
It's
it wasn't even major. It was
yeah.
just major for him.
Yeah.
You know, he came back the next year, won a fucking finals. So it's insane what he's doing. Yeah. He
Outside of
definitely-
that, I'd also have DeMar, but like LeBron passes him in every stat metric.
Yeah, he's
Like,
more efficient.
He's more efficient. He scores more points. He gets more rebounds, and he has more assists. He's a better passer. You know, and defensively, like I'm not going to sit here and say DeMar's demonstrably better than LeBron. I mean,
I say DeMar probably play defense for more minutes out of the game.
on ball, yeah, but like it's whatever.
When Brown wants to play D, he's gonna play D.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. You the one?
I don't know. I mean, you got it. I'll say this: there's a rhetoric or there's a narrative going on Twitter right now. Devin Booker should be getting more MVP nods than he is, and I think that's fair. A lot of people like to vote, the highest scorer on the best
I mean,
team.
I think give him credit. Like
I think it's fair. I think it's fair for Devin Booker to want some MVP.
Devin
votes,
Booker's taken the because the narrative for a long time was like, yeah, he puts up a lot of points, but it's like garbage time. Like he was kind of the go-to player of like a solid player on a bad team putting up great numbers.
Mm-hmm.
But now all of a sudden that the teams around him, his production hasn't fallen off at all, and he's still leading that team to wins. I think I can attribute some of that to Chris Paul coming there, but I don't know how you can look at that this year when Chris Paul's really only been playing like half the games.
When that was the effect. So DeAndre Ayton, I mean, he's second overall
Yeah,
pick.
Ayton's
He's gonna
good.
do his thing.
I mean,
Mikal Bridges.
Cam Johnson and
gonna get
Mikal
paid,
Bridges
too.
are both excellent
Yeah.
3-and-D players.
Kel Bridges been costing me money.
You fucking your parlay up.
Can't score 16 points, nigga. 16 points.
He couldn't get a 16. Nah, he's but he's dark
Stopper.
horse defensive player of the year contender this year. Like
Cam
Mikal
John-
Bridges is doing his thing.
Cam
like,
Johnson been doing his thing ever since
Yeah.
Chris Paul got hurt.
shit.
He was running point for a little bit, wasn't he? Before he got hurt or got COVID, whatever he had.
I think. Greg, what do you got? You already know your MVP,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I know
Giannis,
my
but like,
MVP
who's the
is
dark horse?
My dark horse, I guess I want to go.
You
want
want to say LeBron? It's
No,
cool. It's
I'm gonna go
LeBron.
with DeRozan.
Okay. Yeah, I mean DeRozan's fair.
Yeah.
I
think-
love what DeRozan. I wish DeRozan could get some award because like his
I think
play
he
this
could-
year is award worthy.
If it wasn't for the fact that he was already
said
a
it, like,
star,
most improved,
yeah.
like-
But that's the thing. He's already a borderline superstar, star in the league. They're not gonna give him most improved, even though he definitely has done more than enough to deserve it. He's not gonna get it.
I mean, he's made like a 6-point jump from what he was doing last year in
True.
San Antonio, and if you look at the assist and rebound numbers, I think he's down in assists actually, but he's up in rebounds. He's winning games, and
And he's the reason they're winning
like
games
let's
a lot of times.
I don't like doing the advanced basket, like bro, you just looked up stats, like nah, that boy can ball. Like let's look at the game winners, like he's taken over games. This is a player that I don't think ever really had a reputation of doing that. No one was scared of DeMar DeRozan in the last seconds of a basketball game, but now I'd argue that he's one of the scariest players in the entire league.
Yeah, I agree.
He kind of feels
that
like
post up mid range is disgusting.
It's
he kind of
nasty.
feels like Dame. Dame kind of had that for a little bit.
I'll also say this. As much as we talk about DeMar DeRozan, we forget Zach LaVine was like a 27, 28 point per game scorer before DeMar gets there. Like
Zach's
both of them,
efficiency
they're
this year's
both-
been crazy too.
They're
Yeah.
both like insane and both liable to get hot and stay hot for a very long time if they need to. So
That's why
I had the Bulls as like my third team. If they can get healthy And then the fact that I feel like their record doesn't display how good they actually are. Because they've been on a downslide, but the downslide really started when they got injuries. Because they was what? They was number one in the East before all the injuries, or a couple injuries to Caruso and, not Levine, Lonzo.
You're saying, Caruso and Lonzo.
Before
Caruso, Lonzo.
And I think Levine had COVID for a little bit too.
Oh, the whole team had COVID.
Yeah.
There was one point this season where they were genuinely, like, putting out guys off the street. Like, they were just putting out their G team.
I think the Bulls, honestly, are, what seed are they right now? 5?
Yeah.
I think they low-key could be that one team that you probably don't really want to see when the playoffs start.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
If they get healthy, the defense is there, the offense is there, they have a closer in DeRozan. Like Nair just said, Zach LaVine right there too, one of my favorite players in the league that can go off any night.
I'd argue it looks like the chemistry's been there too. It's not like this is a team that I'm like, I don't know, can they play with each? Like, they can clearly play with each other.
Once Patrick Williams gets back, the interior defense is no longer a liability because we know Vooch isn't the best defensive big man.
My only issue with Patrick Williams is I feel like his skill set on this team is so redundant offensively. If he was a good three-point shooter, it would help this team immensely. But his game is a lot of, like, mid-range jump shots. Like,
I think that can work, though, because Vooch can shoot the three.
I mean, it can, but, like, literally it feels like everyone can shoot the three, or can shoot a mid-range on that team. Like, DeMar shoots mid-range, Zach LaVine guy, I guess. Yeah, no.
Zach LaVine's a three-point
I think you could put LaVine on the 3. I think you could put Vooch on the 3. I think you could have DeMar and P. Will working on the 2 and then have Ball out there as a three-point shooter.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess that kind of could work. Yeah. They're pretty good. Pretty damn good. You know what's also pretty damn good? The end of the show. And what would also be incredible is if you guys could hit the like button if you're still listening and subscribe for more content.
And share.
That was insane.
Share
it. Take Two Sports. RuneScape. Forever.